Hey everyone, happy Thursday. It is awesome out here today. I love it. I love being in Mother Nature. I love being outdoors and fresh air and sitting in the sunshine. You know, I grew up. I was fortunate enough to be able to grow up on a farm where my brother and I spent a majority of our time outdoors. We were either playing basketball, riding motorcycles, four-wheelers, building forts, riding the lawnmower, throwing rocks at each other. You know, that was my childhood. And I feel so fortunate to be able to have experienced that life, because I truly believe that is why I have become the person who I am today, and I've had the journey that I've had. You know, growing up, whenever I had a dilemma or a question about life, I would go to my mom and I would say, "Mom, what do I do about this?" or "What do I do about that?" And her first response was, "I don't know. Why don't you go talk to God about it? Go outside and talk to God about it." So that was my MO. She encouraged me to build a relationship with God from a very young age. And for me, that meant to go outside and sit on a rock or sit next to a tree or go sit in the pasture with the bulls, whatever it was. It was to go outside and to listen. So I learned to pay attention to Mother Nature, to the weather patterns, to the birds, the bugs, the animals, watching their mannerisms and how they were communicating within the herd, but also how they would communicate when I was present. So that is, I think, probably the beginning of how I began to cultivate my intuition and my relationship with nature and God and the universe, this amazing universe that we live in. So I want to share this story again. It was a couple weeks ago. Oh, somebody's driving. And if maybe you saw one of my videos or read my Facebook blog, it was one morning a couple weeks ago that I sat down and entered my book, Trigger the Wonder Horse, in a few book contests. And oh, by the way, I noticed in my account this morning that I probably sold about 300 copies of Trigger the Wonder Horse so far. So I want to thank you so much for your support and in sharing my message and the support in buying this book and reading it and giving it away or whatever, using it as a coaster. But definitely, it's, you know, my heart and soul that went into writing this book. But anyway, so I sat down and entered the contest, or a few contests, and that morning it was so difficult. Whether, you know, I was dealing with computer glitches, the files weren't uploading correctly, the internet wasn't working, my phone kept ringing, you know, it just seemed like it was so challenging that I was almost at the point where I was going to pick up my computer and just like toss it across the room. I mean, have you ever been there? Oh, I was there. And I was like, nope, you're not going to win. You're not going to win. I'm going to win this game right now. So I ended up completing the task and everything got uploaded and got verification that my files had been received. So that was a blessing. And then I decided to come to this particular park and just go for a walk. So I came here and I actually sat at this bench, and I just, you know, took in the sunshine and took some deep breaths and really just connected to the energy, to my breath, and began to feel the sunshine just like pour in from the top of my head, running all the way down through my spine and all the way down, extending out to the core of the earth, and just really felt that connectedness, right? That alignment. And I just began to pray, and I said, God, I need a sign. I need a sign on whether or not, entering the contest was doing the right thing, and just whatever message that you have for me, I'm open. And then I kind of, just sat here for a few more seconds and thought, okay, I needed to finish my walk. And as I got up and began to move around the park, I was looking around thinking, well, who's going to give me a message? And there really wasn't anyone around except for a couple and their dog. And I thought, it probably isn't them. So as I began to make that turn that's over there, I looked ahead and I noticed a white thing, a piece of paper on the sidewalk, the middle of the sidewalk. And I thought, well, that's kind of odd. And there wasn't anyone around. So as I approached this piece of paper, my hands started sweating, and I'm thinking, my heart started beating. I'm like, is this for me? So I bent down and picked it up, and it reads 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7. God will never give you the spirit of fear, but the Holy Spirit who gives you mighty power, love, and self-control. I love you, Shannon. And I looked around because I'm like, where's Shannon? Shannon was nowhere to be found. And I was so incredibly humbled and taken back that I sat down and began to cry. So I was just, trying to catch my breath. I'm like, what is God? God, thank you for this message. Little did I know that it would come in the form of a Bible verse from Shannon. God bless Shannon, wherever she is. I just said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And I started crying. This lady, she comes up to me and she goes, oh, can I give you a big hug? And I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm fine. She goes, well, why are you crying? And I said, oh, these are happy tears. Anyway, so I got up and began my journey home. Continued to my house with my note in my pocket. And I put it where I can see it every single day. And it just reminded on, every day reminded on where our guidance and our blessings come from, right? They come from people, they come from nature, they come from animals, who knows? God works in mysterious ways. And if I wouldn't have experienced it and be able to share with you this right now, I don't know if I would have believed it either. There are quite a few stories in this book and A Charmed Journey, my memoir, that I wouldn't have believed if I didn't live it either. So here I am, and here we are. Anyway, all right, I am going to go about my day now and just plant the seed in your head that God is omnipresent. Put your prayer, your request, your intention out into this amazing universe, and then begin to pay attention on what shows up and how it shows up. You never know. All right, have a great rest of your day, and I'll talk to you soon. Namaste.